Hey, I reduced the bitrate a little bit and maybe it's better now. I don't know why it's not. It was fine all day, so it's kind of random way to be doing it right now. Oh well. Maybe I'll try raising the bitrate again in a bit if it's still okay. But for now, I'll just work like this, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so let's get started. Yeah, just dropped a bit more, but whatever. I'm just gonna do some, I don't know, generic stuff. Actually, there were some functions. Let's do the functions first. I want to do some costs. What was it? Oh, there is. Let's do this one first. I don't even know how many cards there are that do this, but Materasu, the scroller. Control, nope. Nope. So maybe just these two, but whatever. The point is for them to be generic functions to be now and in the future, so it's fine even if there's not many masters that will make use of them. So which effect is it? It gets targeted, change capacity. Okay. Okay. Does Deus Ex do anything different? No. Okay. Maybe you should be checking for maybe you can change the position as well, but it's probably not a big deal because the only card that prevents you from changing position is the Clodion one. Like, change by effect. Besides, this is a cost, so maybe it doesn't even interact, but it's impossible to know because there's no interaction. Anyway, I'll just leave it as is and that's fine. I'll just write it here for now. Now, one small update we could do is we could, instead of setting it to it's only face up defense, maybe something says change it to face up attack position or whatever. So let's just make it so you can pass but whatever position you want, and it's gonna do that. Which means you need to do this. So function, let's call it self, like position change position. Just go with this for now and we'll see. Position. Although I guess this way could be used also if something, this has to be face down to do it, but what if something is face up and says as a cost change position, right? Then we need to check that it's not that position. So that would make sense. So for example, if we take Exiled Force and we change the cost, instead of attributing itself, Let's make it change itself to defense position. Let's face up, defense. Push the defense, and then next turn when it's already in defense, we cannot do it because it's already in defense. Makes sense. Face up defense. But if we switch to attack, then we can use it. Okay, that seems fine. Similarly, it's gonna work with this case where they're already face down, doesn't make a difference. And then you could also pass attack position. So, although another thing is maybe now here we need to check, can change position, because if it's a link monster, you cannot change the position. So, like say a link monster copies this effect, you should not be able to use it. Check. We could copy from enemy controller. Okay. Should we put this effect, for example, on Link Kariba? Oops. Should not be able to use it. Because it cannot be changed to different position. Okay, so it's probably fine then. Nothing crazy, very simple. Let me undo these changes. Okay, and then I'll just copy this here. Okay, because that one was pretty easy, simple. The other one, okay, removing counters. So for example, I mean, spell counters is the most obvious one, right? Let's break your remove one spell counter from the discard, take one spell on the destroy it. Okay, so removing it is a cost here. This. Okay, so let's see. On what summon take a counter. Let me just install. Okay. Alright, so let's translate this into utility function, right? So, what do we need? Okay, we have TP here, no problem. Reason cost is gonna be cost because it's gonna be a cost function. So the only things we need is the type of counter. So we can make it work with whatever counter we want, and the amount. So Breaker only wants to remove 1. But something else might want to remove 2, 3, whatever, right? So we'll do the same thing as before. Let's call it self remove counter. Okay, and then we have counter type and count how many. Okay. So here we do this, and we're gonna put spell 1, and then alright, so cost. Self. Okay. And then so if we replace the cost here, counter spell 1 as the parameters. Remove 1, boost attack. Okay, seems fine. And obviously we can change the counter type and the number depending on the usage. Okay, now I want to see if we could do the same, but for an effect that says remove spell counters from your field. So it could be from any card. For example. And number of spell counters from your field. Okay, this one probably is not gonna work because you need to check the number you're removing. Matches the level of what you're searching. This is a replacement effect, not activated. Placement. Discussing your greater bonus potential of it. Okay, that works. Okay, so it does dual move counter, your side, the type and the number of counters. Just keep this here. I think all of these are from itself, right? Oh, that's a replacement again. Okay, that's not, but anywhere on the field. really like both sides. That's crazy. But this is not a... Wait, what? This is not a cost based on this text, but here is a cost. So I'm a little confused. This code might be bugged. We need to investigate later. Two. Or maybe it just doesn't exist for spell counters much, but okay, let's see. For example, this one. Spell down. Remove the spell counters from your field and get activation. What's the one card that's from your field? On your side of the field. From your field. From this card, from your field. Maybe actually I should do this, remove. What's this one say? From anywhere on the field. Okay, might be the only one. Let me check the database for this. We might need to handle it if it does actually work that way. Disenchanter is the name. Disenchanter. Okay, it's not if you don't there's okay, there's my touch this. Oh, it's not an effect. It's not a cost. It's part of the effect. Dash on which one was okay. So I scripted it wrong, I suppose. That goes on face up. Simultaneous. Okay, so the good thing is that we don't need to handle it here because it's not a cost. But the other thing is that the script is wrong right now. So we'll fix it in a bit after we're done with the function. So let me find one that's gonna be kind of easy to test. Remove the spell counters from your field, return one. Maybe this one. Change the path phase, remove the spell counters from your field. That might be easy too. Because we only need 2 spell counters. And the attack change effect is easy. Like to test using this monster out. Okay, so just put some let's do Upstart Goblin, you know, just to stack the spell counters. And yeah, I forgot the whole point is to have multiples so that we can remove it from the other one as well. Okay, not this one, not this one, let's go with this one. Okay. So what we have here is the dual function is the one that's doing the whole field instead of specific card ones, like this one is the card version. Okay, so this means just your side, not the opponent's side. The type of counter, how many? There's some cost of foes. Okay. So we're gonna name this one post-thermal counter, I guess. Because the other one is self-remove counter, makes sense. Okay, we don't need this. And then what do we need? We just need, again, might be the same, right? Because there's no card that seems to remove from either side as a cost. Okay, this for spell counters only. Let's check for other counters as well. Counter from anywhere, either your opponent's, no. The field, no. It doesn't seem to be one. So at least for the general case, it's not gonna be one, and it doesn't make sense for there to be one, let's be honest. So I'm just gonna go with only your side by default. And if we need to do it differently, we could just this could be updated later, like later we could add a third parameter, yada yada yada, that makes it count the opponent's side if we need to do that. Yeah. Type, count. Okay. And then here we put counter spell, 2 of them. And that's it. Okay, so I choose where to remove it from. One was here, so there's only one left. And then we choose the attack change. Yeah. Okay. So that should be good to go as well. Okay. Now let's go back to fixing this. Disenchanter. Let me make a puzzle. Hold on, first let me confirm that the TCG, the English text, is actually correct. There's no, like, difference. Once per turn, it's time to appear to know, here's no more placement. Type 1 face has put on the build. Okay. Build no more okay, so I want the guy has no cover. Instead of move us from the field, we do it and type, okay. Okay, seems to be the same, so we could just operate from the English text. We just need a face-up spell, and we need a spell counter anywhere in the field. Okay, face-up spell. Wave forces. Okay, and now we need spell counters, or rather, we need monsters that take spell counters, and I'm gonna activate a spell, and actually I should put this in the hand. So what's something there? Oh, the mythical beast we just saw. Okay. Just gonna move the this to the hand. Okay. Right, so now right now it removes as the cost, which is incorrect, like we said. Face up spell. Spells face up, equal to hand. Target it. Send to the hand. It does say that target, although there's no way to actually flip it face down, but might as well. Okay, so the main difference is we need to get rid of the cost. And then we have to move this to the resolution. Well, the activation check and the resolution. Now this has to say effect, not cost. Anywhere in the field, one spell counter. And then resolution. We remove one. Now I don't remember if this returns a boolean or an integer, so gotta check. Okay, remove counter. Returns a boolean. So we'll just leave it as is, I suppose. Okay. So if we successfully remove the counter and the target's still there, and I forgot the end here, and it's face up, send to the hand. Okay, delete this. 13. Oh, I forgot to change the name as well here. I didn't save. Okay. We need spell counter. Okay, activate. So we target fast because we're gonna remove on resolution. Okay, which is where to remove from. Go. Seems to be fine now. Let's make a note of this. Okay. Yeah, what to do now? Because I already did these. Let's see. Okay, you know, one thing I want to do was try and clear up my puzzles a bit. I already deleted the generic ones. I want to go through the ones that have actual names and see if they're still relevant or what are they supposed to be for, if I can remember at least. Because some of them are kind of old probably. But anyway. Activity chain. Oh yeah, I was testing if negating the monster, the effect activation takes away the custom activity. Because this says, can activate the effects of monsters on the field and you activate this card accesses summon monsters. So if I activate, so for example, if I activate this, she was normal summoned, so I cannot use this anymore, right? Yeah. But if I negate the activation, it's as if it was never activated, so I cannot do it. Okay. This works fine. Doesn't need to be here anymore. Okay, this one is the... I was testing this guy on stream, right? We don't need this anymore. Okay, what's this? Amazonas. It's probably the fusion. It has a pre-release card that doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. Don't need this one. Signet circuit. That's the one I can summon. Again, it's a pre-release version, so I was testing it before, like when it was revealed. This is like oh, this one too. Yeah, summons on either side of the field or something. Like when your link master points to. So I was testing that, I think. But I guess this is pre-release. We don't need it anymore. What's this? More pre-release stuff. Oh, I was testing the negation thing with this one, but yeah, we already figured that one out. No need to keep this. Favorite content for flames. This one, I think might still be wrong actually. So this says make your opponent shuffle back. Which would typically imply that it's not an effect, it's like makes the player do it. There's a rule, especially exactly. And this says neither player can return the master to the extra deck. So you should stop it, but I think I made this puzzle because there was a report that said that it wasn't stopped, so I can select it. I'm not sure if that's correct. I can go back. This is definitely incorrect. So I'm gonna keep this one because obviously it's still bugged. Junk synchron. What is this? Normal summon junk oh, I was testing the communication thing. So you spell summon negate effects. This is attack officer must control against sudden attack. Must control beast to this effect. So the point is that if it's scripted correctly, which this one is not actually, junk synchron specifically does not have the correct thing here. So the correct interaction is that if you activate this and then you chain Book of Moon to flip it face down, the negation goes away immediately and then it resolves normally. But as you can see, it didn't. It was negated. For that to work, we need to do something here that I forget. But we don't really need to do that. We could just do. No, it's handled by the function there. So. So we target, chain Book of Moon. Okay, see, against the attack, as it should. Now, since we are here, might as well update the whole script. You can't have junk synchron script not being correct, right? Special summon 1, level 2. What's this? Oh, yeah. Special summon single trigger. Normal summon success. Okay, so we are targeting a level 2 or lower in our graveyard. Can be special in best position. All this is correct, of course. Let's put the zone check first. It's probably a bit more efficient. Like, don't bother checking for targets in the graveyard if you have no zones, is the idea. Select your target. Okay, then resolution. Someone taking the first position. Gets effect, so it's still related. Special summon step defense position. Get its effects. And then special summon complete. Okay. So if we don't change Book of Moon, because it's negated, as expected. Okay, excellent. So let's actually make a note of this as well. Alright, nice. Now, there's probably a lot of other cards that also have this problem, but eventually the idea is that everything that negates effects, like junk synchron here for example, is going to be using this function, and this function does the correct thing, which is like set value, reset and set, whatever, I forget exactly. But it's like too many cards to go through every card that negates effects and make sure it has the correct thing. So it's just something that happens that we're updating naturally as a card is brought up and it has a problem. Oh, let's fix it, you know. Okay, so we don't need this. Castilla Zone Block Switch. I think I remember this one. So Oh no, is it the... Oh no, I was thinking about a different one. What is this one? So I guess I banish something face down to trigger this. I block a zone. And then I take control of it. Each time a card your opponent owns and possesses is banished face down. Choose one unused. Cannot be used while it's must face on the pet. I'm not seeing anything weird here. And the zone stays the same. Like, the only thing I'm thinking of is maybe it was like when the control changed, the zone was flipped or something. Also, maybe I could try changing control in a chain. That could be the problem. So this stays correct. Like it could be if it flips and blocks this one or something. But let's try chaining. So I select this, and then I take control before it resolves. Does it not reference the correct one? There we go, that's the problem. That's the problem. Let's see. So we set the zone here as a target parameter, and then on resolution, it goes and creates the effect that disables the zone. However, the moment you change control of it, the same zone value references the other side. That has to do with how the zone stuff is scripted. So what we need is to also check, also make note of the player, right? I'm guessing. What if, okay, so in this case I selected a zone that was the opponent, on the opponent side of this. If I select a zone on that side, what happens? Okay, it was also flipped in this case. Okay. Okay. So the idea is that we need to also make note of the player somehow. And then if the player is different, I'm guessing, we need to like flip the value somehow. I'm not very good with zones though, unfortunately. Well, noting the player is easy. We just pass it with another sorry, just passes another value in the label, right? Something like this. So TP is the play that triggered this effect, which means the controller of Sangria in this particular instance. And then here, I think we should just do this, by the way, right? I don't think it needs to pass the label object. Yeah. Okay. Now we need to compare the player, and if the player is different. So if rather, wait a minute. No, we don't need to. What am I talking about? We already have TP here. That was dumb. That was dumb of me. We don't need this. But we do this. So now we compare TP to the controller of this card, right? So if this card is not controlled by this player anymore, then we need to flip the zone. Now here's the problem. I don't know, not sure how to do the flip thing. And doesn't seem like Naim is here. to help me out, because zone stuff, I'm not good with it. I don't know if I can find an example card as well. It has to, it's something like a bit shift, but I don't know if it's left, right, how many, like, I don't know. Trying to think. 16 maybe? But now I don't remember if it's left or right, you know? Okay, maybe that's correct. Maybe I got it first try. Let's see. Okay, that's nice. Let's try this one, for example. Oh yeah, we should try spell traps, so maybe the shift is different for those. Okay, no, seems correct. What else suggest? Right, it's if I pick this side and then I change control. Okay, something failed here. Something failed here. Oh, in this case, probably needs to shift left, right? So maybe we do need the player. Yeah, okay. So we need to, oh boy, we need to know on which side the zone is, actually, to know if we're gonna shift left or right. So whether the controller is different, if the controller is different, it means we need to flip. But whether we're gonna flip left or right is something we don't know yet. Could we know it from TP though? Because TP0 is here, TP1 would be here. Player 0, player 1, right? No, hold on, no, that's not relevant. No. It's not who, we don't care who used the effect, we care whose side the zone is. Can we... Do we have a way to... I don't know if we could determine that though. Okay, let's do some debugging. So if we print this value, what does it say? I'm thinking based on the value we could know if it's on this field or the opponent's field. On your field, so to speak, the one who used the effect rather. So if I click this one, it says 2. Okay. So this is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. I think it goes like that. Or does it go 2, 4, whatever? Let's see. This one is 16, okay. What about the spell traps? That's big, but maybe because it's depends on zone. Or no, it just goes double every time, so it gets very big very quickly, I suppose. This one is, yeah, okay. However, so the max is this one, should be this, right? If we choose from this side, goddamn, more bikes being loud. Okay, if we choose from this side, what kind of numbers are we getting? Okay, even bigger, right? So I'm guessing the way it goes is that it just gets higher every time, right? Okay, that's probably even higher. Yeah. Now the reason it doesn't go from this immediately to 8,000 whatever is probably because there are other zones too in the middle. There's field zone, like some other zones that probably take values as well. So there's like jumps. But okay, so could we just, you know, store somehow what kind of zone it was? So for example, let's use the label here, right? So, although, wait. We could see the number. We don't need to mark this here, right? Because this should give the same result, something, right? So this one was 496. Okay. The problem, I think, is that if you switch control and it's 496, right? It's gonna think it's, oh, it's mine. It's because 496 has to be my side. Yeah, the number stays the same. Now obviously this works because I'm doing the shift here, but normally it wouldn't work. Yeah, so the number is the same. Yeah, I guess we need to, yeah, because we need to know, if on activation, what was the relationship of the zone compared to the exceeds monster, if it was on its side or not, right? Because even though this number is the same down here, and we could know that it changed controller. Wait, hold on. Well, okay, if the number is 496 and we know it changed controllers, it means that we need to flip and it's the other side, right? The question is whether to flip left or right. That depends on which side you picked. Or rather, well, okay, we could maybe figure that out from the current, because if the current controller is this one and we know it changed, then we could figure that out from that information, I think. So that's the thing that's wrong. In this is the case where it needs to go right instead. Feedback is here. Okay, so if this is higher than, or what was it? 1496 maybe. 1496. So if it's higher than this, it means we picked something on the opponent's side, right? If it's lower, it means we picked something on our side. So if we pick something in the same side, we pick something in the same side, we need to do this, otherwise we need to do the other one, I think. If I'm thinking about this correctly. Well, let's test it a bunch and see. Okay, so I'm gonna pick this first and not change. Make sure it works for that scenario as well. Okay, so that works. Obviously, because the controller didn't change, so it doesn't go in here. Makes sense. And then let's try picking. So I'm gonna pick that side and then change control. Okay, that's correct. And then I'm gonna pick this side and then change control. Chain. Okay. Nice. What is that magical number we see? So the magical, well, let me explain the bug first, name. The bug is that without this, right? You select the zone on activation, right? And if before the effect resolves you change control of this monster, the value for the zone is still the same you selected, but now you change control, so it thinks it's referencing the other field. So like I would pick this, and then you change control and it thinks you're blocking this one, right? So that's the problem. So here I'm doing if the controller has changed, depending comparing it to the player activity effect, we need to do a bit shift on the zone, and then whether we do left or right depends on what side we pick the zone from. The number, this one, is the number of zone of this pendulum zone, which is the maximum number this card can select from your side. So if it's your side, it's gonna be lower than this. If it's the opponent's side, it's gonna be higher than this. That's the number. So you see if you look at the debugs, hold on. So if you pick this, it's 496. I mean, it starts, you know how it goes probably. It starts at 1 and then goes 2, whatever, 4, 8 to 16. And then the spell traps also have higher numbers. And it goes all the way up to 1496. And then of course the opponent's side has even bigger numbers. So that's the point of the... So if I pick the first monster zone here, has 65,000. What is the return of select disable filter? Is it this? You mean the select disable field? It's this number, it's like the zone value, right? The one that goes, if it's your monster zones, it goes 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. Is that one? Would be easier to show if you print all 32 pieces binary. I don't think it's a problem of showing it at the moment. The problem right now is what do we do about the magic number? I guess that's the problem. Though I do wanna flip, change control of oops. Your opponent owns, so I need to flip the everything, I guess. But the 11th piece should be your 4th spectral zone, not the 5th, I think. Well, I don't know, man. You see what it returns. Like, it's not like I'm not claiming stuff here. It's like this is the number it prints. What am I supposed to do? You know, the function is used. I pick the zone, right? Boom, printed, and it gives this. It's just how it is. Anyway, let me test all the scenarios from this side, just to make sure it works correct. I want to make sure that the logic is actually correct first. Okay. Okay. Select your highest spell traps on the 5th one. Dude, that's the one. Okay. Here, there it is. I pick this, it's this. Like, I think you're just missing some kind of zone. Like this is, maybe there's a fill zone first or Xmas zones, whatever. Like, hold on, let me flip everything back because it's annoying. So like the player's first zone, spell trap zone is this. The last master zone is this. So clearly there's something in between that makes it jump. I don't know if it's the extra master zones first, for sure, before the spell trap zones. And then maybe there's separate pendulum zones, or maybe there's after, I forget the order, man. Field zones probably after spell trap zones. But in any case, there's definitely the extra master zones in between, so there's the jump there. Right, 32, 64. Now, there's 2 more for you to go to 250. Like, I sent what I understood from the field, read it from right to left. Okay, so it turns out name was doing the math wrong. Oh, dropping frames. Dropping frames, dropping frames. I repeat, name was doing the math wrong. Anyway. So maybe the best thing we could do is hide this behind a function. Like just temp name and stuff. We can make it a one line. Something like this, I guess. I don't know. Obviously with a better function name, that's not the point here. Wait, I need to... It's annoying. Now in the case of this card, obviously because it says cannot be used by master space upon the field, that makes it a little easier, because if it's not related anymore, we just don't care, right? But for a different card that doesn't need to remain, if that exists. Not be used. The hell does this say? Cannot be used. Oh, my turn. This card gains an effect. Let's go space up. Let's go space up. Yeah, yeah, for example, this, right? This guy's from 150 degree. Use kind of Zama. Okay, well, you choose on resolution here, so there's no problem actually. Doing something that chooses on activation. This card gains the effect. Well, oh, hold on. Well, yeah, that's equivalent to what this guy's face up essentially. Okay. Okay, that's the target. Jeez. Let's mouse face up. It's the same. It doesn't block. No. This doesn't block a zone. Nope. Nope. I don't think so. Can be used here. That's the target. Destroy them to the zones. Nope. Doesn't put the zone. Got some resolution. Plus, it's a field spec, can change control anyway. So, for example, what does this do? What the fuck? Zone 1. You control the fusion master, this output you can choose to zone state. Okay, that's fine. This has a this has a table of the sequences. Oh wait, this always picks an opponent zone. Never mind. So you always know exactly which one you're referring to. That's based on the target. Resolution. Resolution. So maybe there's no card that's gonna have this problem I was thinking of. There is this one, hold on. Oh wait, it's big. Wait. Oh, it only references the one that Master was in. Because it shows an opponent's monster, he always does +16. Okay, there's no problem. Geez, so I guess maybe Sankradai is the only card with this issue, which is good, I guess. It's not a bad thing. But then it doesn't warrant a whole function, you know. Whatever. For now, let me update the whole script, modernize it a bit. 2+ level 7 monsters. During each time a phase, spell someone Castera from your deck. You can only use the previous spell. It'll trigger a special summon. Castera deck. Okay, seems fine. Trigger delay, event remove. This time a card your opponent owns and possesses is banished. Face down. It says face down, it's on the opponent's side, and it was on the opponent's side. Okay. It's always gonna be banished on the owner's side, so that's fine. And then what does this check? Get location. Okay, it checks gets your master zones, your spell traps on the opponent's master, and the opponent's perceptions, and checks that at least one of them is higher than 0. Select the field, hint, set target parameter, And then resolution. I should also check face up, I guess. Cannot disable. So I'm just gonna leave it like this. Yeah, maybe we could make it a single line, I guess, but so like. Can we actually? Fuck, I forget it. I'm not gonna bother. Let's just kind of leave it like this. Maybe I'll add a comment. Okay. And what's the last effect? Some kind of protection thing. Code. Battle card effect. Can detach one material. This card instead. How common is this effect? Not too common, but. Anyways, single continuous and register replace master zone. Not replace. You can remove one. You say yes. Here we could probably just simplify the return, like do return this and whatever this returns. Check remove overlay card. Int. The card is int. Zero. So if you say no, it's immediately returns false. It's just a little cleaner this way, I think. So you guys are spamming a lot of stuff in the Discord. No, it's nothing important. Hatter, you can type in the chat, you know. Anyway, I'll test this. Right, so we got some. Actually, we already have the puzzle. So let's just put dark hole. It's material as well. It needs some material as well. Okay. And I guess if I say no, that should be fine. Make sure I didn't mess up anything. Okay, so let's put this here, make note of the fix. Okay. So we can delete this button now. Okay, so Lulu wallet link. What's this? I was testing her because she needs a little foot tuner. So for example, she is level 12. We should not be able to use the token and tuner, was the idea. She's level 12, so. What do we use on this guy again? 6. Oh, I think I was testing like putting the effect on this guy. Yeah, anyway, whatever. Pretty sure this works correctly now, so makeup update. I think this is ancient. This has to do with the banishing stuff in Parallel. And yeah, this has to do with this, which is already done, so we don't need this anymore. Millennium Miser Strict. What is this? Refuse it. What is this? This triggers. But now what? Benchmark courage from your both your opponent's filter and graveyard. Don't have a massive controls. The only thing I can think of, maybe I was testing that, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. It's probably not very important, or probably correct. It seems correct, so I'm just gonna say it's correct. Let's do a little bit more, then I think I'll call it. Okay, Mutant, Phantom of Chaos, that's still bugged, I know for a fact. Necro Valley update, is that for the thing that hasn't happened yet. So yes, maybe. Let's leave it for now. Scarecrow MZ. The next one. What is this? Why do I have the controller different here? That makes no sense. Was it? Maybe it was like it was in the extra master, but I switched control. You could still use the effect or something. I think I don't fix that. That was a little while ago. Yeah, I think it's fine. Oh yeah, I was messing around with Spider Nation. Is this the Duroid thing? Yeah, forget it. That's the Ritual Tanuki. Testing it for pre-release. There's a megalith problem. I'm pretty sure this is already fixed. Yeah, it's the one where it moves, and then you should not be able to ritual summon. Already fixed this one. Weather. It's something with her, but again it's pre-release, so should be fine. This isn't a bug actually, it's just to showcase the loop. So if you do damage to the opponent, this triggers, gains attack, and then this does damage because it's triggered, and then this triggers again, and it's an infinite loop. Don't need this one. Okay. This is with this bird, I think. But I don't know what it is. You can almost pass on wind base basically in your hand. Tokage. Oh, it has to do with the chain thing, so you normal summon this, and then so there's the ruling that if you can only use one effect, one monster effect that spell summons itself from the hand or graveyard in a single chain, right? So if I have two Tokage, I can only use one of them, or Green Baboon, right? Or the Sacred Viking Garunic, whatever the fuck the name is. But then if I use this, this should be usable because it normal summons something else. Potentially. I mean, it could summon itself too, but it doesn't. It's not guaranteed to summon itself. It summons something, right? But as you could see, I could not use it here. And then if I use this first, then I cannot use Tokage, but I should be able to. I think that's the bug. Just now I noticed that maybe the problem is this. Pass in the group. Nope. Nope. This is confusing. Like, why? Like, how does it know? Is it like, oh, it has category summon, so I'm gonna block it? That makes no sense. Because then what if it summons something else? Like, what if it special summons something else? That would be incorrect as well. It would need to take, the core would need to check the information that you pass here and figure out, okay, it's summoning itself, so I'm gonna block it, or it's not summoning itself, so I'm not gonna block it. But then, hold up, what am I talking about? Wait, this is after activation. Well, I guess it might be both, but after activating Akitokage, it should not block this effect. Now, obviously, this is not executed or before activating at this point. So the core just sees category summon and blocks it. It's the moment it checks if itself is summonable. The core says the effect as summoning itself. So because it can potentially summon itself is the problem, you're saying? So if we, hypothetically, if we exclude itself here, then it should work, if what you're saying, if I understood what you said correctly. Okay, I see. Obviously this is incorrect, but it's the handling I added after that ruling with the master. Yeah, Baja something is the name, yeah. But here's the thing, if instead of is summonable we do special summon, is it not gonna be incorrect as well? Now I'm excluding it, of course. If I don't exclude it, yeah, it's blocked, see? So it's not specifically because of the normal summon, it's the same logic is used for the special summon as well. So here it checks that the special summon itself, if it can be summoned itself, and then the core is like, hey, you're checking if you can summon this card, so the core is assuming that the effect is an effect that would summon itself, but in this case it's an effect that could summon itself, but it could also summon something else. So that's where it's not exactly correct. Now I don't know how you would update, I mean, it cannot be done script side, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure how you would update the core to handle this. Like, can you tell if you're in the filter or not? Because if you're in the filter, it means there would be you're checking for multiples. Not multiples, you're checking for potentially multiple cards. Like, it's not only exclusively the card itself. Like, if you're checking it outside the filter here, then it's like, well, obviously it's gonna try and summon itself, right? But if you're checking it inside the filter, then naturally it could be itself, it could be something else. But I don't know if you could tell if you're inside the filter or not. Now I'm pretty sure there's a ruling for this, I just want to confirm it. Like, I don't think it's just third of perfection. Actually, it's ruling about Kaketoage specifically. Okay, so if a successfully normal summon level 4 wing beast can activate the effect of both Kaketoage and Simorgh Bird of Perfection in the same chain. In the situation given, the effect of Kaketoage and the effect of Simorgh Bird of Perfection can be activated in the same chain. You can activate either one first, but after activating, your opponent will have the opportunity to activate card effect in response. So yeah, you can activate both because Bird of Perfection is not one that specifically is like known to summon itself. It could summon itself, but I guess that's a distinction they're making, so they're not categorizing it as one of the Green Baboon kind of effects. How else could you do it? I guess you don't have to know if you're in the filter. You know if it's like existing matching card or existing target is called, so you could probably do it that way. Maybe it's not good, but logic-wise, I feel like it would work. But anyway, I'll leave that to you to decide. For now, I'm keeping the puzzle because it's still bugged. Chimera Fusion. Yeah, that's the stuff I was using to test. Fusion broke back then. We don't need it. Clock Lizard new. I think I was testing some stuff with Lizard here, but whatever. Okay, that's old. Comic Hand opponent's turn. Stupid motorbikes. Okay. So something about equipping Comic Hand monster. You control don't worry, equip this kind of opponent's monster, take control of it. Distress the toon monster. Your opponent controls no toon monster, take control. The toon was not available to discard. Must not pick up. Equipped it. It was into your graveyard, because in your graveyard. It doesn't matter. And this is some mechanic of the condition, I guess. Is it even correct that you can equip it? Because you don't control two worlds. I'm not sure about that. But if we do it in the opponent's turn, like the puzzle title says, what is the problem? Oh, it's that one. Kind of remember this one, but I don't remember what if I figured out something about it. Like it has to do with the timing that the self-destroy goes off. If in that case it goes off before the control switch happens, so then the control switch breaks. But if it's in your turn, it happens first. It's something stupid like that. Control switch trigger effects. Oh, that's the ruling with Natasha and whatnot. I think that's fixed, right? I think. Is it fixed? I don't remember now. New controller is using it. The scenario seems correct. Forget if the Nightmare Griffin scenario is correct. I should keep it for now. Continue strap delay triggers. Oh, that's this bug I was trying to figure out the other day. It's still bugged. I don't know how to fix it. Dark Cooler Ballpark, I think. This one is like, it it doesn't recognize that no damage will take place, and allows you to use this effect even though no damage is gonna take place. If a player would take battle damage, I'm pretty sure it's still bugged. The relating thing, haven't fixed that yet. Try it on bend. What exactly is the problem here? Not seeing anything. That seems correct. I don't remember what this is about. Duck dummy unaffected. Okay, I don't remember the rulings for this one. I'll keep it for now. Developer does take event move. I think this is still bugged. She says the card leaves the extra deck, right? Yeah. Still not fixed as well. XOR Dyna. Exosister Ethereum. Summon this way, your opponent can special summon one monster from either graveyard. If your opponent moves a card out of the okay, this seems correct. So it's my effect, but the opponent did a special summon, so it works. Fusion Prop 1000, we got release cards again. Gael triple there. I remember this. Yeah, it's this weird bug where you can't target it. Forget why though. But it's still bug the Sims. We don't need these two. It was created today. It says pre-release cards, but it's the yeah, it's this, what's it called? The signed codec thing, I think. I check my prints, this should be the Dairy Crane bug. It's still bugged. Infinite power! Oh, it's like an infinite loop or something. What is this? Summon Blockluster. It's because I becomes 3000. It's because I becomes Blockluster. What's the problem here? Control. Oh, the attack didn't reset. See, still 3000. It should be until your opponent's next end phase. It's the set upon turn thing. Okay. So some other cards have this problem too, unfortunately, but it's something that should be fixed. We just need to go through all of them, to be honest. But yeah, this makes it so the effect resets, referencing the opponent's turn, right? That's the idea. It's the opponent's next end phase. Look for the opponent's end phase, not your own end phase. But the problem with this reset, it's not a problem with this reset. The problem when using this reset is that if the effect is registered on a card, it uses the card's current controller to reference the opponent for when to reset. So when the control changes, now suddenly it thinks it's the other player, right? So it took an extra turn for it to go back. This works no problems if it's a dual effect, because there's no card to change control. But if it's a card that is registered to, you change control, and now it thinks it's the next. It's the opponent. The opponent has changed. The opponent of the controller of this guy has changed, so the reset is adjusted accordingly. So really, what should be done is that this should not be used for effects registered on cards. Instead, it needs to do something like this. Change the reset count to be 2 instead. So it takes 2 end phases to reset. So now let's go back to 0 already, as expected, and as you should rather. Now I'm gonna fix this one, maybe, but I'm not gonna go through everything. Anyway, I think I'm gonna call it now though. I'm gonna fix it off stream. Right, so thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Did some decent work today, I think. Yeah, I'm getting hungry and I'm gonna have some calzone pizza for dinner, homemade. So that's nice. Actually, I don't know, is it calzone pizza or is it pizza calzone? Edo? Can you enlighten us, plebeians? I don't know if you're still there though, maybe you're not. Seeing any response, so maybe he's not listening. That's fine. Anyway, I'll be going now. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Take care.